Hey guys, this is my 2019 February updates to let you guys know what's going on. Got a little bit information for you guys out there on bats. What I'm working on right now, what I'm doing right now, how the eye's doing. And thanks for the wishes you guys, the well wishes you guys are giving me. Let me get rid of this. I really do appreciate it. It helps out a lot. The vision is getting better. I had a doctor's appointment about a week and a half ago. He has cleared me to start lifting. He has cleared me to start hitting. The problem is, like I asked him, when can I start hitting again? He said, well, can you even see the ball? And the problem that I have, my eyesight is getting clearer, but I still have some distortion in the right eye. Everything looks smaller. This one's normal, and then everything just looks squeezed in, and it's hard to pick up a ball because I've actually sat back there and Billy has pitched to me and I can't pick the ball up. So I'd probably have to get used to it. And I'm not in no rush to come back either. I think our tournament starts here in Texas in March 2nd. I will not be playing in that tournament. I already know that right now. But I'll be there hanging out with the guys. I think it's in San Marcos here in San Antonio. They're gonna fly a few guys in, and then the guys are gonna come. We got our whole team is from Texas, and then we have a couple of guys from outside the state. Larry Carter will be with us this year, which is pretty exciting. I love that guy. Played with him a couple of tournaments last year. You talk about an ambassador to senior softball. That guy is an ambassador to senior softball. And he hunts too. I'm getting excited about that because I hunt a lot. I've been hunting since I was 9, and he hunts. So I actually talked to him yesterday. He's going to come down there and do a little bit of hunting with us, hunting with me. A little place I go hunting at, and he's excited about that. So I love Larry. A couple of things. The eye, like I talked about the eye. The eyes, they cleared me to hit. It's getting clear. Like a lot of people say, for the first few months, you actually have this gray where it's like looking through a dirty glass. That's starting to, actually my vision is starting to get better, more crisp. Every day goes by, it gets further out. The problem that I have is everything's smaller and everything is distorted. It's got lines in it. It's almost like if I drew a straight line and I kept it out, if I looked at the line is crooked. And then if I look the whole down the line, it actually looks like the line, everywhere the center of vision is, the line moves. Like it moves with the center of vision. So that's hard when you're trying to pick up a softball. But from what I heard, that's cataract's problem. That's because with this surgery, you do have, one of the symptoms are your cataracts burns up. It gets bad. Which, that's just a simple fix. Not a simple fix, but it's better than the detachment. And at least I can start seeing again. My whole goal here, guys, is to start playing softball by May, to be in Reno by May. We've got probably 3 tournaments before May, and that I will not make, but I'll be there to help out the guys. But Reno's my first one. If I cannot make Reno, I'm going to try to make June, which I think Smoky Mountain's in June. A few things I want to talk about here is, and I kind of thought about this. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I've got questions from a lot of guys about moving from my top 5 to top 10. And I think that's a good idea. That way I can start talking to guys, because a lot of guys ask me, what's your top 10? So I just might as well, because I've been getting this question for the last 4 or 5 years, is make a top 10, not a top 5. So I'm kind of broaden it up, because there's so many here, guys, and you remember, well, 5 years ago, 5+ years ago, there wasn't really a lot of bats out there. Now there's all these guys coming out with bats, and every year they're redoing a bat. Not everybody, but just a few companies out there will redo a bat every year and tweak it, as they say, or which I don't know if they do that, but and I'm trying not to get in trouble here. They put it out there again to try to, in my opinion, that's what Combat used to do years ago. Whenever they were around, they would repaint it, stick it back out there, and call it something else, or have someone else's name on it. So what I'm going to do is move from a top 5 to a top 10. I think that'll help a lot of you guys out there. And I just got this clarified the other day too, as I was talking about the TPS Jeff Hall bat, and I just got a bat from from those guys, the Hyper Z, which is actually this one right here that I'm actually starting to do. I've actually hit this bat and I like this bat. This bat right here. A lot of you guys have asked me questions about that bat. I like that bat. It's probably one of the best Hyper Z that I've swung. And a lot of Billy will agree with me on that one, and Bubba will agree with me on that one. I don't know what they did. What they did was, the only thing that I can see from the previous Hyper Z from that one is it still makes that sound that a Hyper Z would make. Or the 2000, remember those? The AS U-Trip bat? I think it's a U-Trip bat. That's how long it's been for me. But it still makes that little bit of a sound, but I think they softened the handle a little bit, where the handle gets a little bit better flex, because if you remember, those bats were very stiff handles. So a lot of you 40, 50, young 50-year-old guys could hit that bat pretty good, but a lot of the older guys couldn't get that handle flex, and they didn't like it. So they're heading in the right direction. That's the one I'm working on right now. That Hyper Z. But let me get back to the Jeff Hall bat, because I had said something like, oh my God, they're putting out another bat. Well, that bat, the Jeff Hall bat, will not be out till the summertime, from what I was told. So they're just kind of putting little teasers out there. This is what's coming out, and then all of a sudden they'll have it coming out during the summertime. I have been told that they have a one-piece Hyper Z that's going to be out within the next couple of 3 weeks. So I'm going to get one of those and start swinging it, do a review on it. It's just almost it's almost done. Where they're actually almost done. They almost got them in the States or wherever they're making them out. Almost got them in the warehouse, I should say, because I really don't know where they're making them at. So that's one thing too. Talking about Jeff Hall, a couple of things here. One of them is, I'm going to jump around here. One of them is Jeff Hall is kind of grabbed the reins, as you would say, to a senior softball USSSA tournaments that are going out to the United States. And I've said this, I don't know how many times. I think SSUSA has went up on their entry fees this year, from what I can see, like a pretty a substantial amount of money. And they kind of blamed it on their cost, and they got to pass their cost on up to you. So whenever their costs go up, your cost is going to go up, or our cost is going to go up. I think anytime you have competition, that's how come I like, the way SPA is starting to expand, and they've got ISSA in there, and all these other tournaments, and then Jeff Hall's coming in with it, the USSSA. I say hell yeah, because anytime you have competition, what happens? The prices go down, because they want you to come to their tournaments, and the prizes go up. So we're starting to see a wide range of all these organizations start, and I clap. I'm like, oh shit, I get excited when I see that, because that means competition. When you have competition, like I said, prices go down and prizes go up, because they want you to go to their tournament, and I think that's a plus. And I played USSSA most of my life, very seldom played ASA, and I love U-Trip. I really do. It's a lot faster. So I hope that kind of takes off with him. Get back to the list that I have here. Jeff Hall and Billy Hudson, Longbow Billy Hudson, they're starting to do clinics, and that's the one thing that I'm actually gonna see, but a lot of people are gonna see for these these next few years, because senior softball has grown so much throughout the 10 years, going on 10 years that I've been doing this, because 10 years ago it wasn't, and we're growing so fast. All of a sudden you're going to have these clinics coming up with these pros that get out there and start telling you how they got to where they were at, either by lifting, nutrition, they're hitting a lot of balls so their hands bleed, on how they approach the game. And I think that's a plus for all of you guys, because you can go to these clinics and gain knowledge, and they just don't have them in California, or they don't have them in Florida. and you can only go, you know, once a month. I've been asked, me and Billy have kind of thought about doing these clinics, and I'm starting to lean that way too, because I think we would bring a different approach to the clinics, because you have a legend like Billy Blake. You can talk about him, and then I'm not a big believer in home runs. I'm not a home run guy. I'm not a stat guy. I don't sit there and go and bomb away. I actually, not, you know, I'm starting this year, actually, I told Billy about this, I'm start going oppo. I'm start going right field. But the way I hit the ball is totally different. If you guys played with me or against me, you know that I tomahawk a lot of stuff too. And I wanted, that's something that I can teach a lot of people, that I learned back in the 80s from a Garibay, you know, that actually I learned it from, and Gibby Garibay, Mike Garibay, those guys from San Antonio, that choppers, all they did was chop when they had to get on. And that's something that I can pass on. Billy can pass on his, and then Bubba can get out there. And Bubba knows he's 45 years old. I mean, he knows, he's been a lot of places a lot of us hasn't even been to at 45 years old. I was never going where he's going at 45 years old. B3, Billy's building everywhere, you know. But we can bring that to, you know, our clinics that we would have here, and there's something we're thinking about. You know, we would have those here in Texas, and only have a few of them where we have guys, seniors, come down, and we can talk to them on how hit in the middle, you know, situational hitting. Don't burn a lot of home runs till you can, because of the way the bats are going. This all ties into bats. The way bats are going nowadays, everything, it's getting better and better. Our bats now are not like they were 10 years ago, not like they were 5 years ago. So I think that's just another thing that me and Billy can put out there to help seniors from Texas, you know, and talk to a lot of these guys about nutrition, about, you know, weightlifting, you know, what to do. And if you guys wait till my videos come out, you're going to be blown away the way I lift weights. It's not like your regular guy getting in the gym. And a lot of you guys are thinking, oh, shit, he's going to be in the gym pushing. And I'm going to show you what I look like. I'm going to show you what I look like without a shirt on. And I get this by lifting percentages, not max weight. I don't sit there and lift 6 or 7 reps. I did that shit in my 30s. I lift percentages, 40 to 50%. I don't go over 50% of my max, and I do everything with explosive movement. So my workout routine is not like anybody else's, you know. So you're going to be blown away, because here's the deal too. A lot of you older guys, a lot of you 60, 70-year-old guys can actually do my workout routine. It's just the way you do it. And a lot of you guys are working muscle groups that you don't need to be working for softball. So if you're really into this softball and you want to get out there and you want to up your game, you want to be better every year, watch my workout routines. That's the only thing I'm saying. I'm getting way too far into this shit. Dudley's coming out. I get this probably 2 or 3 times a day. Dave, one of the Dudleys is going to be delivered. I'm going to tell you what I was told. Middle of February. A lot of guys say 28th of February. From what I was told, around the middle of February, they're going to be in the States, and then they're going to be handed out to the reps. And you guys that order them from the reps, you can get them from them. The JB bat, the Miken, Worth Wicked, those bats, those reviews will be out within a week and a half. Both of them will. So I'll have one by the end of the week, another one by next week. A lot of you guys have been asking me about those bats, so wait on those. I got this phone call the other day. There's a guy out there called Mike Hamilton, and I talked to a guy that knows him, and he's supposed to be getting me one of his bats. Now, this is what I'm talking about with Senior. This guy's going to have his own bat. It's not going to be named anything. I don't know. It's Mike Hamilton bat. I don't know who's going to make it, but from what I heard he's testing it right now. It's going to be a 12-inch, I think. From what I can gather, guy's name is Mike Hamilton. And I can't get too far into it because I really don't know a lot, and I don't want to misspeak here. But that's coming out during the summertime. I will have one of those bats. I promise you I'm going to try to get one. But I was told that it's going to be a really good bat from a couple of guys. But it's the Mike Hamilton bat, senior softball bat. It's going to have his name on it. He will be out. That will be out by the summertime. DeMarini. And I just seen this kind of snooping around on Facebook and all these message boards. DeMarini's coming out with bats. And I'm kind of glad that DeMarini's doing this, because they're actually, I was told last year, middle of last year, that they were going to start hitting the senior market this year pretty hard. And start pushing the envelope. Now, pushing the envelope to me, when they talked to me about this, was they're going to start pushing that 1.21 BPF envelope, because a lot of guys, a lot of bat manufacturers, Easton, will not do that. They will not push that envelope to try to get a high performance bat. They'll come up there, the bat will test the pass, and they'll just go ahead and pass it, they'll just run it through there. And Easton's just one of many, I think, because Easton has not put out. I was watching the message boards the other day, and some guy was saying that Easton is one of the top bats, and if you guys look at the same message board probably that I look at, and Easton can stay up there with a top bat. No, they can't. I'm telling you right now, I've swung Easton, they can't stay up there with a top 5. I don't think Easton's came out with a top 5 bat that I've ever, since I've been doing this. Now, I'm not saying Easton doesn't put out quality product, USSSA bats or ASA bats. I'm just saying Easton has not hit the senior market like from what I've heard DeMarini's going to do right now. So that's another thing too. DeMarini's going to come around. Larry Carter's going to be my teammate this year. I'm going to kind of pick his brain, talk to him about all this stuff too. And I like talking to Larry because he's got the guy knows a lot of shit. Billy Hudson, every Friday, I've said this before, every Friday he has this senior softball podcast. There's a couple of the guys that I think need to get into this podcast shit too, to bring awareness to senior softball. And what I do want you to do, guys, too, when you do this podcast, don't forget about the older guys, because of the market for the 40s have been so big. I mean, 40s are just blowing up. Okay, I see it. 40s in the next few years, it's going to get bigger. I mean, this is the time where everybody needs to jump into senior softball, do a lot of videotaping, but don't forget about the older guys, 60-plus-year-old guys. Kind of have a few of those guys. Those are the guys you need to talk to. You need to talk to you don't need to talk to me. You don't, not there yet. You need to talk to those older guys, see what they have to say, see what they have to talk about, the stories they have to talk about. So when you guys start getting into this stuff, and I think it's great what you're doing, get a lot of you older guys involved, a lot of the older guys out there involved, pick their brain, and that's the thing that I love about Billy Hudson, is he's bringing awareness to senior softball out there, and all these other camps. And don't forget who started all this shit. Ken Vandergaard, Steve Imlay, got into it. Then they started to do the clinics, and that's the one thing too, guys. I love those clinics. I have not been to one. I want to try to get to one. But I just shit's been going on. The eye from I was actually going to go in December to somebody was having one in December in Florida, and I was going to go to that one. I was going to go see Ken Vandergaard, and then I hurt the eye, and I actually talked to him about it. He was going to, feed me and Billy, which I don't know if he wants to do that or not, but feed me and Billy one weekend and go up there and do a lot of videotaping with him. But guys, go out, support what we're doing. And no negative shit. That's another thing too I don't like watching, is people talk shit about each other when it comes to seniors, because we left that shit a long time ago when we were playing our 30s and 40s. Don't do that shit no more. But guys, that's it. That's my updates for 2019 February and what's coming out. If I miss some things, I'll actually add them in my question and answers. That's another thing too. Those question and answers are blowing up, because a lot of you guys are asking me questions about things that I might know about or you don't know about. Nutrition. I had a guy had surgery on his ankle and asked me what's the best supplements to take for. He had a couple of tendons redid or tightened up or whatever, screws put in his ankle, and I kind of talked to him a little bit on the messages and told him what I suggest that he. But the question and answer is blowing up. A lot of you guys are looking at that because I actually see it on my Facebook analytics, and it'll tell me what's blowing up and what's not. But the question and answers, and I'm still going to get to those. I got one coming out this week I've already done. And guys, one thing about this year, and I've always said this, I'm going to have an update for March to let you guys know what's going on. But the one thing is, guys, have fun. That's the biggest thing. And be careful and check your health. I mean, that's another thing too I wanted to talk to you guys about was every year go to your doctor, get a clean bill of health, and then start the year off good. That way you're not surprised by anything. And if something's got to be worked with, you can work with that at the beginning of the year. Don't get into the year and all of a sudden you're tired, or something else is going on that you need to get addressed. Always check that shit out with your doctor, and always have a family physician too that you can go to and ask him questions about little things that's going on. And the reason, this is for a buddy of mine that passed away last year, and I was talking to a couple of people about this, is unexpectedly he had a heart attack and died at 57 years old. And I knew there were symptoms with him, and me and Joanne too talked about this. Go see your doc. If you feel something that's going on with you, don't just get out there and start playing and expect it to go away. And even if it's indigestion, even if it's a little tightness in the chest, have it looked at. It could be something small. It could be something not really that important, but at least have it looked at. Don't start getting out there and jumping into weights and jumping into softball, jumping into running, taking batting practice. And that's basically what happened last year with Kane, is he was taking batting practice and had indigestion, and then passed away that night. Did not go to the doc. But there's symptoms that lead up to this, guys. Get your health checked. Let's make this a good year, and everybody have fun. Thanks, guys.